Well, hello my fellow car modelers, how you doing today? Well, if you watch this channel with regularity, you know that this is not going to be a video about the 70s Chevelle from AMT, because what's in this box is a fugitive that I've been hunting down for years. Actually, I figured it out. It was like about 6 years and 3 houses. That long lost Fast Eddie Sharpman Pro Stock Mercury Comet. So happy to have it back in my life, and it is. I'm pushing everything off to the side, and we're going to put this thing together, get it done. I've got a show in 2 to 3 weeks. I got the Modelzona show here in Phoenix, Arizona on November 5th, and I want to have this on the table. So I just want to give you guys an update. I haven't really touched it since the model meeting a couple weeks ago that I took it to after I found it, and I showed you guys the last video. So let's go ahead and dig into this thing and mess around with it a little bit. So no more about the Chevelle. Let's get into this car. I am really excited. Beautiful, cool paint job. This thing is really got me excited. That's the glass. I kept that wrapped up. Chassis is done as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to do much with the chassis. I'm not worried about that. It's the engine, the interior, which this is pretty well done. I got to glue that seat back in. I already put some seat belts in there. I did this years ago. I would use different seat belts now, but heck, I got those. It's settled. The ever-loving engine. We're going to go over this. That's pretty well done. We'll have to do all the stuff in the engine bay. And when we talked about the engine bay, something that both my pal Raisin Garrett and I do out of the Monogram 70 Mustangs, the engine bay is really perfect for these cars to make them look right. We got the core support done with that groovy Moroso catch can. It even has the cork insulation wrapped around it with some photo etch screw clamps. I'm not sure where that photo etch came from. It was years ago when I did it. Typical of the chrome tree. I don't know if I'm going to be using those wheels because I got something else. We don't know yet. My favorite for the time period, the drag tires and everything for early 70s Pro Stocks, the best are the out of the kit from out of the JoHan. Thank you. I'm sorry, I can't speak. Got a bunch of stuff in here. There's more stuff for the under the hood. Then I was messing with this tire too. I don't know, I might be going with a bigger tire. I don't know yet. There's just some scrap parts in here we don't know, even the tail lights. We'll get on to that stuff. Some things that broke off the engine. We're going to have to fix that. There's one of the ever-loving... Oh, it's way down in there. You see that? That's a return spring. I'll leave it there for safety. We're going to have to keep this off to the side real close to us. As we start putting this thing together, I'm going to put these back in the box too, but I'm going to leave this stuff out, even that. Here we go. This is the money right here. That car right there. So, this was done in, as I said in that last video I did about it, this was done in House of Color candies. I did a base coat of some silver, don't know what I used, can't remember, but I know that was House of Color Pagan Gold and House of Color Candy Apple Red. And I did the fog, you can see that fog, and then of course Slicks decals. We have what stopped the project years ago. Little piece of the decal flew off right there. I don't care anymore. I got some nubs and stuff like this. I put 2K clear down, and obviously it's, I want to say I did this 12 years ago, maybe. So I could probably buff this thing out. I'm a little spooked. I'm not a very good buffer. I really love how this turned out, and I'm scared to put the buffing wheel to it. Gee whiz, I don't know. But boy, oh boy, could I know there's a lot of clear on this, so I could really buff this out, get rid of the dirt nibs that have been there, and I could really bring this baby to life. You can really see that candy apple red. Yeah, man, this is a hard decision. So let's take a closer look at this engine. Now they got the carburetor glued on, and I can't remember where that return spring went. I'll have to figure that out by looking at pictures. But I see that one little piece that I showed you, the little tubing here. That's got to get put back on. But yeah, this is a pretty cool, simple detailing. Did some on the valve covers. I think the valve covers were left chrome, and I put a lot of detail on there, detailer or panel liner. I think at that time I was using this stuff called detailer that was a little bottle from Testers that only came in one of their paint packs. They never sold the stuff separately. It was really good black wash until I discovered Tamiya. Tamiya is much better, but I always liked that stuff. But I also black washed the carburetors. There was a color called burnt metal, I believe, that was Testers Model Masters metallizers. And it was either burnt metal or burnt iron. It had two different burnt colors. And it used to be perfect for carburetors, used carburetors, you didn't want them to look brand new. And then all of a sudden when I buy the paint, it changed colors. It wasn't quite like that anymore for a while. Now you can't even get it anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it was the perfect carburetor color, and that's what I did there with a little bit of black wash. And this was my resin carbs, but I don't know if you can see in there. If you look inside there, can you see? I found at Pegasus Hobbies years ago, just an amazing place. They're in their K&S tubing and stuff like that. There was this really small piece of tubing that was very thin-walled, and I thought that is perfect for Venturis down carburetor. Venturis or boosters. They would be the boosters in the carburetor Venturis. But man, oh man, it just sets these carburetors off. So cool. Stuff that I've showed you in the past of how I hand paint with metallizers. That's how I did the transmission and everything. Just Ford blue for the engine block, and I even did the little bit of brass there in the freeze plugs. That's pretty much it for the engine. I'll put a little more detail in it. But what we got to work on is this called cutout. I want to get this painted for sure. I'm trying to find new pictures of the car. I got to see what color the engine bay is. I think it's black, but I got this so it fits in there good, and we'll get that in there. And I don't know, I kept this. I don't know if he ran all this on the car. I'm not for sure. If this goes to the back of the firewall, it sure would look cool. I don't know if that goes in there. I got to look at the pictures. But I at least need this for the detail on the top of the shock towers, because this car would have had stock shock towers. Ooh, I'm noticing it must have happened over there. Got a little bit of fisheye right there. So I mean, I really could buff this out. I think I might have to talk to my buddy Chucky, the Chuckmeister over there, Chuck's Hobby Spot, as he is now the master buffer and 2K clear guy on my side of town. I just don't have confidence in myself. I might need him to just like put his hand on my shoulder as I do it. I'm really spooked at buffing this and just destroying it. Paint is just always my bad side. I'm pretty well done with this. I got to get, the interior I'm talking about. I got to get, look at that wrapping I did right there. That was heat shrink right there, and there I took electrical heat shrink, put it on a aluminum tube, and heated it and shrunk it to the aluminum tube. And while it was still pliable, I just would roll it with the back of the back part of the X-Acto blade and just roll it, and it would put those grooves in it, and they'd stay after it would harden up and cool down, and just would give that cool old school race car wrap look. Nothing really much to look in the interior. It's pretty basic. Yeah, I know. I got those sink marks back there. I didn't do nothing about them. Maybe I'll figure something out to hide those, but bad model building there. Again, I'm not going to do anything with this, but I do want to kind of mock it up. because I know I was messing with tires with this thing. So I want to get it mocked up where this tire would go. I think I want to go with this tire because it's just big, but it might not fit. I might stick with the tire that it goes with. I know I ground out the back wheel well so I could get some fitting in there. Other than that, I'm not really going to do anything else with the underside. Not a need.
You're watching the Luka Cee channel on YouTube.
We got to get going on this, so I will be bringing you updates on it, but I just wanted to turn the camera on, talk to you guys about it. I have got it out of the box. I'm going to stick to working on this. I have got to get the 63 Corvette done for our model club meeting in December. We have all decided it's December we got to have those done for our exchange build. If you go over to Chuck's Hobby Spot and you go over to BG's Model Workshop, they got theirs going. They're going over their Model Car Mafia kit exchange little group build that we do over the year, and we're all working on it at the last minute. We all put it off because we had a year, and all of a sudden, wham, a year goes by, and now we're all slamming our cars together. I got to get working on that, but I'm setting this priority to have this done in 2 weeks because I want to have this at the Modelzona. It's just so close. I really wanted to get this car done, and I'm looking forward to getting it done. So, hey, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I want to let you guys know I got a new shirt at my Teespring store. You want to check out, go down in the description below, find my merch. If you go over to Luka Cee Model Car Hobby Headquarters Facebook group, I have a link to it in there too, of going to my merch store on Teespring, or Teespring they call it now, who cares. But yeah, the link is in the description below to get there. And I've got this new shirt. We are kicking it off, ready for next year. We're going on a world tour, wrecking the frickin' hobby. Because what do we do here? We hoard model kits. Why? Because it's fun. Here's the producers.